Hello, hello. How you doing? Hold on. Little camera adjustment needed to happen. How you guys doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan, coming at you once again with some more real shit, with some more real spill that the rest of the world ain't gonna let you know about, ain't talking about. The rest of the world is pretty much oblivious to for some reason. I mean, not certain people. I mean, from what I noticed, from what I'm noticing, because I watch everything. I'm an observer. I'm an investigator, right? So what I'm noticing is I'm watching celebrities, right? I'm watching celebrities. I'm watching politicians. I'm watching how the world is moving around me, right? And I'm noticing that they're giving subtle innuendos about my situation. These geese flying past me, fucking gorgeous. But yeah, they're giving subtle innuendos and insight about my situation, as if they're talking about different things behind the scenes or whatever. You know, um, you know, the title of this episode, first of all, is going to be the silver lining. I'm not bringing you any negativity. This is all positivity, but it's coming from it's a seed of positivity that was planted in a very negative place. You know what I mean? I'm coming with that. I'm coming from that seed of positivity. Um, I'm coming from that negative place. I'm trying to be planted in better soil, in firmer soil, in soil that's more rich, that's gonna do more for me and my family. The silver lining is that I was able to figure all of this out. Observe enough to even put together an investigation. The silver lining is on a day where I had a lot of things that happened that distracted me from the good things that happened on in my life. I went to court and fought for my daughter. She had a dispute at school or whatever, and I went over there to court. Fought for my daughter and everything, and I had a great lawyer, Miss McLeodin, and she fought for my daughter and everything, and it just came out well. You know what I mean? I won the case hands down. That was a case that was something that stemmed from my current situation, from people not understanding my current situation or being involved indirectly in my current situation. And that's what it is. A lot of things is stemming. A lot of things is like in life, and even in life, our situations have stems, have vines to our situations, and it branches out and reaches other places without us even knowing. You know what I mean? The silver lining is I won that case. The silver lining is I'm still here to do my fucking podcast, man. The silver lining is the day, the day and trying to figure everything out, you know. And I want to bring understanding. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, maybe I am understood a lot more than I think I am, right? Because, if my environment's been guided and dictated in a lot of ways, that means that they understand me a lot more than I may think they understand me. That don't mean it's a good thing. You know what I mean? That understanding comes with a cost. You know what I mean? That understanding, it comes with manipulation because of a person or a place, right? Or a society, well, rather dichotomy, knows more about you than you, right? If they strip away the essence of who your father's people really are, and you really don't get to know that side of who you are, but they know all about that, then they could put you in a lot of situations and have a lot of things happen in your life that you don't even realize is happening. You know, Man, the silver lining is I came on this podcast today prepared to put people on blast. You know what I mean? And I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. But all I'm going to say is this. You know, a lot of situations that I've been placed in has been, a lot of situations has been orchestrated. Has been orchestrated. Um, there are maestros here that orchestrate things for secret societies. Um, and they run back to the federal government, you know, the FBI and all that type of stuff, because that's who allowed them to have a voice, to have a face, to have an opinion in society nowadays. Um, you know, I'm not going to divulge any, you know, any information like that or whatever. I already did enough. You know what I mean? I not really. I haven't done enough, you know, with letting people know what's going on because I believe that a lot of people really just don't understand what's going on, and it I don't know. It's a whole thing where, mm, man, it just takes it really just takes my mind sometimes, man, to really think about all this stuff. To think about how all of this shit just come about like this. I really don't understand, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to a place where I understand myself a lot more better, a lot better. I'm getting to a place where I could accept the fact that my life has been some type of weird ass fucking game that they played. I accept that. I can wrap my mind around that. What I can't wrap my mind around is the things that certain people done in my life, whom I love, whom I respect, whom I always showed loyalty to, how they can do the things and play the parts and maneuver people in different circumstances all my life. Like I really don't, and I'm not trying to say too much because for real, I'm putting all of this information in books and writing and things like that. You know what I mean? I have to get it out there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm tired of barking up this fucking tree because me constantly barking up this tree is hindering my life. Every time I send a letter, every time I take a stand, every time I'm trying to make forward progress, they sit up there and bump me back a few steps. And I'm tired of being bumped back, man. I'm tired of, you know, bucking up against something that's really bucking up. It's like, okay, I'm bucking up against the system, but I don't have anybody bucking up with me. It's like I got all this information. I got all it. I mean, I understand why ain't nobody standing with me in Philadelphia, right? Because that was the stage for this whole fucking charade that was going on the whole time. You know, that's what they did. You know what I mean? As soon as I see the reason I know what I know is because as soon as I put in, you know, I put in certain information, you know, or whatever, it's like, and what I mean by that is just to keep myself protected. You know what I mean? I'm not putting in information on anybody and not no type of rat or nothing. I'm just basically telling people about my situation so I could get help. That's it. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. Never have, never will. But at the same time, if I got a situation that's going on in my life, I have to talk about it. I have to let people know, or otherwise they won't know. And they get to say anything or do anything they want to do to me. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at with it. That's why I put my information out there. Because for a long time I just was like reserved, staying to myself, not anti-social, but just really just to myself. And I see now that that was to my detriment. That was by design. They wanted me to be, somewhat traumatized. You know what I mean? And this was done intentionally. Traumatic things happen in my life to me intentionally, ritualistically, because a lot of what happens in our normal society, I've been saying it, happens from secret societies. And from secret societies, they get to do the things that they do because of, the protection of the federal. Now I keep getting calls on the phone. And that's another thing that happens. You know what I mean? It's like whenever you're trying to do something like this, make a podcast, get your voice out there, make a song, write a book, all of that shit. It's just they send somebody your way. They'll send somebody your way. They'll send somebody your way. They'll send somebody to send you a phone call for whatever reason. That's what they do. You know what I mean? It might be a good reason. I don't know. But at the same time, it just stopped my little podcast. That little phone call, I wish it could have happened 20 minutes later, like 30 minutes from now. If that phone call would have happened, that'd have been perfect timing. But it wasn't. Things don't happen in perfect timing. Why? Go fucking figure. You know what I mean? All this shit is staged, man. I mean, maybe not for y'all, but for me, I see all this shit was staged. And it's sad the way I came to that conclusion. I came to that conclusion noticing that my own family, community, people around me, friends, stabbed me in the back. Still watching me. I turn in this. You don't like my shit ever. You don't promote none of my shit. As soon as I go make my move, you know what I mean, somewhere else, you start liking my shit again. That means you've been watching me. That means you've been involved with certain people that's been trying to fuck me over for a long time. And y'all don't say nothing. So what am I like employment? Am I like a job? Is that part of your perks and benefits? Shit is a shame because after a while you realize that this force that you're dealing with, you know what I mean? They can really guide you and maneuver you into different positions that'll further entrap you or some shit like that without you even realizing it. That's another reason why I do my podcast and make sure I give people exactly what's on my mind, what's on my heart, what I'm dealing with at the moment. Because if I don't, then you got to guess about it. Then people got to guess about, what's on that guy's mind? What's this guy going through in life? What are you doing? What is he up to? I ain't up to shit. I'm just up to living my life and just relaxing. I don't hate nobody. I have no hatred for anybody in the world. But if somebody do you wrong and you find out about it, you got to call them out. Truth is the light. And you got to confront those who do you wrong. This is my way of confronting. Because to be honest, in the past, when I've tried to talk to my grandfather, he brandished the gun in his pocket. He brandished the gun in his pocket when I tried to get answers. If I try to get answers from anybody, all they gonna do is send me away, shun me, try to put me out, try to hurt me in some type of way, try to get me away from them so that way I can't ask them no questions. That's why I believe that they trying to, you know what I mean? That they it was a plot. It was one plot where they was if I would have got put in jail. Then it was something else, a different situation if this would have happened. If I would have stayed at Scepter, then it was a different situation that would have happened. So basically, it's like a spider web of situations. Any situation you choose to do is something that's going to be an outcome from that. So what the fuck do? You pick the right course of action, whatever you feel as if is the proper course of action, and you take that. If I feel like I'm being set up by not just a person, not just a place, not just a community, but by an organization, by a city, you know what I mean? Even if it's not, even if they're not trying to per se hurt me or whatever, even if it's just to watch me or monitor me or just, well, yeah, hurt me, hurt my family or whatever. Because to be honest with you, even verbal torture, physical, like physical, emotional, uh, that's torture. When you're raised with people who do that type of thing to you and continue to do that type of thing to you into adulthood, that's torture. Those are situations that makes a fucking psychopath or a serial killer or a terrorist. And I believe that that's what they were trying to do to me. They were trying to set me up to make me look like I'm a terrorist because I got a crazy ass abusive mother, right? But it's not her fault. They put my mom in that situation. That's why I'm not mad at her. That's why I try to help her. That's why I try to, stick in there with her, even though she still be in her act. But I understand it's because they gave her substances that could alter your mind, your mental fortitude, and all of that shit. And after a while, that mentality, that personality, that characteristic sticks with you. And that's what it is. You know what I mean? They used to call her Special K. They used to call her Special K for a reason. Everybody know what ketamine is. Meth, that's what they did. They messed her up. They messed her up and messed her up and fucked up my life and my children's life and everything. And had my mom doing crazy shit. That's how I know this. Because I did meth. Yeah, I did meth. Oh yeah. Mark did meth. Oh yeah. I won't lie about that shit. I did it. Part of my investigation. Damn right. I did it. I ain't smoked the shit. I snorted it. I snorted it. Yeah. I'm Cuban. That's what we do. Every now and then we hit a line, take a bump here and there. You know what I mean? Message just something else to bump, right? Keeping it funky with y'all. You know what I mean? And in the process of me doing that and me finding out what I'm finding out and being fucking petrified a bit, it's just, hey, yeah. That's how I know what they did to my mom. That's how I know what they did to me. That's how I know what they did to my children. Not my children. I hope they didn't. I don't think they ever got that close to actually do that to my children. But if you fuck up my life, this is what I mean by that. Because you got to clarify everything on the internet. I'm realizing. I'm growing. I'm learning. I know they never did that to my children, but if they did that to my mother, right, before me, then ultimately they fucked up my life when I was a young boy. Now my mother is still going through this. Probably not the drug part, right? But she went through this and it tore her fucking life apart, right? And I'm just being an observer. I'm not judging her, I'm just being an observer. That's it. It tore her life apart, right? And now I'm dealing with the repercussions of what they did to my mother. Now, if you know the chemical process of meth, what they do is meth is designed, MK Ultra, that's meth, basically. MK Ultra, mind control, that type of shit. If you're not able to withstand whatever mind control it is, because it's only a temporary thing. They give it to you to have a temporary control over you. Now it can last, the effects of it can last, but it's temporary. It's something that lasts very, you know what I mean? Long as it's in your system, that's it lasting. That's meth in your system. And that's when they have control of you. That's when they can affect your mental fortitude. They can have you act out of your character. They can do this. They can do a lot of things. They can play a lot of games with your life at that point. The thing that I'm trying to figure out is once they have meth in your system, whether they still could tap into your mind somehow. If it's something that's still there that They can always like just hit a switch to like see what you're thinking or try to skew your thoughts and make you feel depressed because they can also fuck with your emotions with these drugs and these substances. They can make you feel depressed, angry. They can make you just want to kill yourself. Think about that shit. They had me, I'm telling you, they have people like that. This is what they did to me. I've been telling everybody about this. I mean, I haven't gone this deep into it in prior videos, but yeah, I did that. And that's not why my teeth is fucked up neither. My teeth is fucked up because when I was a little boy, I was at the playground, 16th in Montgomery, right? And I was on a swing set. And I swung off the swing and my mouth hit the guardrail. Boom. Fucked my whole mouth up. Right? I passed out. I stumbled into the crib on 16th in Montgomery, staying next to a funeral home, and I passed out or whatever. I never went to the hospital. I never got treatment for braces or nothing in my life. Now, if a parent really, really cares about their child, and I'm not saying that my mom don't care about, but my mom was under the influence of this substance for a while, right? If she wasn't, or if she wasn't under the influence of something, right? Or some type of mind control or whatever, because I don't want to put it out there like she's a drug addict, because I don't think that about my mom, right? But the whole thing is, why wouldn't a mother take their child to get their head checked, to get their teeth fixed, and all that shit when they're young? Unless somebody wanted them to be fucked up. Unless somebody wanted their child to be fucked up. I mean, unless somebody wanted your child to be fucked up, right? Only thing I could think, you know what I mean, is why they allow my family to get away with doing all the shit that they did to me is because they had a contract with the CIA that they got a contract with the CIA and they're being protected by the FBI because my bloodline is from Cuba. And they brought us over here to do whatever, and they really botched a lot of shit up. They really fucked a lot of kids up that came out of that Pedro Pan, Operation Peter Pan time period, where they was bringing Cuban kids over here. They was bringing Cuban children over here. My father was one of them. I believe that they're trying to cover their tracks. They're trying to cover their tracks. I haven't talked to my father in a while. I hope he's okay. I hope he's well. You know what I mean? I do. I hope all my sisters and brothers, the ones that I have left, are well. And I hope that their parents or whomever they're in care of, or if they're in care of themselves, watch out and be observant and pay attention to their surroundings. Because they got to understand that, man, for whatever reason, for whatever reason, I'm not saying that America got anything against Cubans or nothing like that. In fact, I hope that out of this could come, you know what I mean, a union between America and Cuba to finally bring Cuba a part of America. That way, you know, they can't get away with that type of shit. See, if Cuba was a part of America, America wouldn't be able to get away with this shit. Because Cuba would be able to look into America and say, hey, why are you doing this to our people that's over there who's American citizens? But that's not happening because they don't have no type of treaty with Cuba. You know what I mean? And what I'm realizing is the abaqua from Cuba, right? Because the people who did this shit to my family, they boule, right? I grew up in a Christian boule household, and I know that because my grandfather's parents, well, not my grandfather, not my real grandfather, Alonzo Brown's parents had his were Shriners, and they was up on the wall. I love this. I love his mother. I don't know if I ever met his father, but the whole thing is, and that's another thing. They use the family name, Brodus, Williams, what's the other one? Brown. See what I'm saying? The family names. When you discover a certain family name is against you, be wary of everybody with that same last name, and they might not even know, or they might actually know what's going on. You got to be wary of everybody because it's the lineage. They playing a lineage game. See, we see it on a different level, and we all spread apart. Our family is spread apart. Our spiritual family is spread apart. Our physical family is spread apart. So we really don't know what's going on. But they play a whole different game on a whole nother level when it comes to them secret orders and them lineages and family names and shit like that. Shout out to Andre 3000. I'm gonna say that right now, cause really I be tired of hearing you niggas' voices on these songs and shit like that. I know you niggas don't listen to my music, and if you do, it's probably to, you know what I mean, like get something from it. Some of you niggas, like some people do. And let me stop following you niggas because people get offended by certain words or phrases or whatever. I don't. So I'm gonna just say that certain people, certain persons, or whatever, they don't listen to me, and if they do, you know what I mean, I appreciate it. If they don't, then hey, it is what it is. But I'm tired of listening to certain people because I'm supporting them when I listen to them, and they don't support me. You know what I mean? I look at everybody from Philly, and I'm like, damn, like I'm really going through this shit, and y'all knew I was going through this shit my whole life. Y'all couldn't pull me to the side and just be like, yo, like let's do this, let's do that, let's get you on the grind. Cause I was really reaching out to everybody and everybody I was cool with to really make something happen at a young age. So now at this age, I'm figuring out they never wanted me to make it. They just never wanted me to make it. All this talent and ability that I have, they just never wanted a nigga to make it. Why? They just don't like Cuban, but they didn't want nobody. I ain't gonna say Cubans. I'm gonna say it like this. They didn't want nobody to make it to become wealthy or become, something from that came from that Operation Peter Pan. That's what it is. Because all Cubans ain't go through this shit. I know they did. So it's just if you had a parent that was a part of Operation Peter Pan, Pedro Pan, whatever it is, then what they did was they just never allowed you to make it. And they placed you with family. And the way they placed you was very ingenious because once they had my father over here, they really didn't have to like take a baby to a household. All they had to do was already have him running around the city impregnating women. Make sure those women are from bootleg households or whatever. And now you got a bunch of Cubans, right? Abaquai, right? Anunnaki, right? Now you got a bunch of Cuban babies, right? Descendants of that and Boule household being raised by a Boule family. And you really won't know because Boulets are not just blacks, even though Boule is the black Illuminati, right? But there's light skinned Boule, there's dark skinned Boule, there's white Boule because the Boule has levels to it. And I do believe that that was how that was the commonality. That was the commonality that they had right there. What's the one thing that Irish, Native Americans, African Americans can agree on who they didn't like? What was the one race of people that they could all say we just don't like the motherfuckers, and they'll never bring them into a treaty with them and all that? Cuba. It makes sense. So you say, all right, well we gonna develop these levels of the boule. We gonna put we gonna put somebody at the top, right? Power, right? Then we gonna put the Irish and you know what I mean. Then we gonna put the black people at the bottom, right? That's what they did because the black people was at the bottom of the boule thing, right? I don't know why. That's just how the order is worked. I guess unless you're a politic or whatever, then we get to the top. I don't know. This is all my thoughts and just what I'm thinking. That's what T. Roy said. By the way, I do love Philadelphia. Philadelphia is, will always be my home. But y'all really did some corny shit. But yeah, man, it's it's a lot. Just understanding that knowledge and trying to let that shit sink in and trying to just live with the fact that I got done wrong forever by everybody. Like every fucking body. Like that shit crazy to me. Even to think that that was the program that they put me in. Like even to think that that was the simulation that they like that's the scheme y'all had for a nigga like me. A nigga like me, that's the scheme y'all had for my life. to not be shit, to have my to have somebody that I don't know because y'all do a lot of shit. Y'all do a lot of shit. Y'all take. I'm gonna tell y'all how I'm gonna tell y'all how sinister this shit get. Right? They'll take sperm from you and raise your seed with another nigga. And I know that because they did that to my uncle Freddie. Same shit. If you look at my life and how they made me lose my job and all that shit, and y'all look at my uncle Fred, same shit. Same shit. All this shit was orchestrated. Same shit. They won't help a nigga out. I mean, they probably help him by monitoring and shit like that. They'll make sure I don't do nothing crazy. Or they'll look for an opportunity to see if they can make me look crazy. That's about it. That's the only help I give. You know what I mean? But on the upside, I do got some great lawyers that been helping out. The one that helped me win my daughter's case, I appreciate you, Miss McLeod. Man, you are the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Objection, objection, objection. That's all Miss McLeod was doing in there. Objecting to everything the people was trying to put down. Because that was, it was right. It was the right thing. You know what I mean? So I salute, take my hat off to the ones that's in my corner. You know, I know I got people in my corner that I don't even know. I salute all of y'all. I got people in my corner that I probably will never even meet in this lifetime. I salute you. I take my hat off to you. You know what I mean? I love you and I appreciate you. You know what I mean? I need that immediate help. And when I'm putting these messages out there and I'm in this environment and I know I got influential people, people with celebrity status and people with big money from the place I'm from, but yet and still they treat me like I'm voiceless, like they don't see what I'm going through, like they don't see my plight. I mean, what is it? Are y'all part of that shit? Did y'all know about the scheme or were y'all part of the scheme? That's the only thing that I can think. Like either y'all knew about that shit, can't touch that shit, or y'all, it was beneficial for you. So you just was like, fuck it. It's beneficial for me, so fuck the bull. And I know how y'all was able to steal inheritance from my grandma and everything like that too. Because when you're part of a secret, when you're part of different organizations, you could take adverse actions for properties and deeds and things like that, wills and shit like that. So you can have your lawyers sign stuff out of people's name just because you're a part of an organization or something. It's called adverse actions or some shit like that. Because I was looking it up. I would never do no shit like that to nobody. But I know how y'all was doing that shit. That's how y'all be stealing shit. Y'all been doing that shit for a long time. I've been doing that shit for a long time. Stealing people properties, all that shit. Because I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not the only one. They just pulled out the full arsenal of fucking trickery with me. They pulled out all the stops, all the crafts with me. But a lot of people, they can just pop up. Oh, this person got this coming, huh? Let me put this paperwork in, steal they shit. Let me do this, take this shit. Let me take this from them. Or that old person about to pass away, huh? Let me do this, take this from them. That's all they do. That's all they do. Thing that fucked me up is my whole family had died. And I don't give a fuck if I'm be honest with you, I don't give a fuck if my mom or whatever was involved. Cause y'all, like I'm looking at how y'all got my mom living. Like that's fucked up. Like, y'all put me in a bad situation, right? And then on top of that, if my mom did help y'all, y'all got her in a fucked up situation over here. Like, like that's crazy. Like that's crazy. Ain't nobody feel for nobody at the death happen or whatever. Make sure people cool and make sure everything all right. That's how family do you. That's how your community do you. Dang, that's just sting, man. That's just sting. I let a lot of shit slide all my life. You know what I mean? I That's who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not a revengeful person. I'm not a spiteful person. None of that, right? I don't. That's just not me. I'm not going to hold hatred in my heart for anybody for any situation. That's just not me. You know what I mean? But yeah, What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I appreciate you if you're out there picking up any copies of the book. I appreciate you out if you out there listening to any of the music. I put up a few real good posts and everything like that with my song Pain and Strife on there and Wake and Bake. So go check those out if you can. I'm almost at the end of this podcast, just thinking if I covered all my bases. Silver lining. Silver lining was the concept. Yeah, that's a silver lining. Silver lining, I ain't got shit else to say. That's a silver lining in itself. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for supporting Mr. Pagan. Mr. Pagan, Literature and Entertainment, God Concept Podcast, Mr. Pagan, Mark Pagan Jr. on the literature side. All the shit that I'm building. God damn. I'm like a box of presents that's just that just don't got the wrapping on it in the bow. Like I got all these presents and shit just sitting there. You know what I mean? I got all the toys that I need, all the tools. I just gotta pack them all up, wrap them up, and put a bow on it. You know, that's what I'm doing, man. Still striving through all the madness, through all the bullshit. I'm still striving. That's the one message I want to give. That's why I put that post out there, and I put my own continental breakfast out there. I had two little ass mini donuts and like four blueberries or four raspberries, whatever the fuck they was, right? Blackberries. I'm like, how could you feel bad about your life? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's a lot of people going through a lot of shit, different times, different circumstances for different reasons. We don't know, right? But nigga, I'm eating too many donuts and four blackberries for breakfast. Stop fucking complaining. Stop fucking complaining. Is basically what I'm saying. Like, stop complaining. Like, we all got hard times. We're going through this and that. Trust me, I'm up to my ears in bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know the mental trauma that I'm under right now, the mental distress that I'm under right now. Like, at times I feel like I want to have a nervous breakdown, man. At times I feel like I'm just, like, I got the shakes. Like, I'm just, like, nervous, this pent up energy, and I'm just, like, so tense and tight because I really don't got nobody to turn to. And that's a sad place to be. And the only people that I can, I'm gonna correct that. The only people that I do have that I could turn to that genuinely love me and care about me, my children. You know what I mean? Genuine. That's been my episode of God Concept Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.